Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump just did the unthinkable, endorsing Andrew Cuomo, the scandal-ridden establishment Democrat that killed a bunch of grandmas during COVID, over his own party's candidate in an effort to pick the lesser of two evils, obviously, because the alternative is a Marxist, communist, psychopath that wants to defund the police and turn the Big Apple into the Soviet Union with better pizza. So this was posted on Truth Social just 45 minutes ago. He says, if communist candidate Zohran Mamdani wins the election for mayor of New York City, it is highly unlikely that I will be contributing federal funds other than the very minimum as required to my beloved first home. Because of the fact that as a communist, this once great city has zero chance of success or even survival. It can only get worse with a communist at the helm. And I don't want to send, as president, good money after bad. It is my obligation to run the nation, and it is my strong conviction that New York City will be a complete and total economic and social disaster should Mamdani win. His principles have been tested for over 1,000 years, and never once have they been successful. I would much rather see a Democrat who has had a record of success win than a communist with no experience and a record of complete and total failure. He was nothing as an assemblyman, ranked at the bottom of his class, and as mayor of potentially, again, the greatest city in the world, he has no chance to bring it back to its former glory. We must also remember this. A vote for Curtis Sliwa, who looks much better without the beret, is a vote for Mamdani. Whether you personally like Andrew Cuomo or not, you really have no choice. You must vote for him and hope he does a fantastic job. He is capable of it. Mamdani is not. Wow, so he's not only endorsing Mamdani, he's applying pressure and leverage to the situation, saying that he will pull federal funding from New York City if Mamdani wins because it's not worthy of his financial backing, essentially, if it's run by a communist. And so this might even make some Democrats and especially independents think twice about voting for Mamdani or even Sliwa because the federal government's no longer going to be backing New York City if he gets elected. So this effectively kicks Sliwa out of the equation entirely. In fact, I hope that he drops out of the race at the last minute, because at this point, it truly is a race between Cuomo and Mamdani. Sliwa's out. It's out of the equation. Just get that out of your mind. Unfortunately, a Democrat is going to be the mayor of New York City. But the question is whether or not this is actually going to be enough. Is this endorsement enough to swing the election? And the answer may surprise you. Yes, this actually could make a big enough difference to swing the election in the favor of Andrew Cuomo, because right now, Curtis Sliwa has, I believe, 20-something% of the vote, and for him to be kicked out of the equation, most of those votes are going to go to Cuomo. And at the same time, just in the last 7 days, the actual lead that Mamdani's held over Andrew Cuomo has tightened significantly. I mean, last week, Emerson polling data was showing a 25-24% lead, something like that, and now it's tightened down to just 4.5%. This is because of all the scandals that have been unveiled, his past coming back to haunt him, things that his mother said about him, his citizenship being brought into question. I mean, there's people that actually think this guy needs to be deported, me included, and his lies that he's told that have been blatantly exposed. This guy said that his aunt was afraid to get on buses after 9/11 because of Islamophobia, and then it turns out his aunt didn't even live in the country at the time. And then he doubled down and said that it was actually his dad's cousin he was referring to. Turns out his dad's cousin doesn't live in the country either. And so it just keeps getting revealed to people that this guy is nothing but a facade, a charade. And the blows have just kept coming over the past week to the point where everybody's starting to realize this guy is a radical psychopath that is a complete and total hypocrite. He's a champagne drinking socialist that rubs shoulders with a bunch of billionaires and then wants to defund the police for all you sorry people while he pays $10,000 a day for private security and then fly around in a private jet while he lectures you about climate change and how you need to do your part. He's one of those guys, and everybody's starting to see through the facade, and it's falling apart. His lead that he had just 1 week ago has shrunk down to just a few percentage points, and this endorsement from Donald Trump could very easily save New York City from communism. Now, I'm not a big fan of Andrew Cuomo, obviously. I mean, he shoved a bunch of COVID-positive patients in nursing homes and killed a bunch of grandmas to inflate the COVID numbers and yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, he does have the experience. You know what you're going to get with Andrew Cuomo, and we all survived it, right? I don't know if New York City can survive Mamdani. This is actually terrifying the impact it's going to have on the Fortune 500 companies that make the world go round in the capital of capitalism. I mean, somebody like that having that much power over the Big Apple is terrifying, and it should not be allowed to happen. And Donald Trump sees this is a matter of choosing the lesser of two evils, and hopefully it's enough to save New York City from devastation. Now, if you disagree with this decision, let me know down in the comments section. If you agree, let me know as well. I want to know what you guys think about this, and only time will tell very soon whether or not this endorsement is enough to save New York City from absolute devastation. Now, before you go, please leave a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.